itsy bitsy teeny weeny ukuleles and big hands. Let's see how this one goes. Keep watching. Yes, welcome back. It's GotAUkulele review day, as always, with your summary video review to accompany the written review that's always linked below. The scores are in there, better photographs, and a lot more detail. My weekly thanks to those people who donate to the channel via PayPal or Patreon. That's what really keeps this site going. It's the only way it works. And why not think about subscribing to the YouTube channel? Hit the little button down there in the bell, and you will be notified about new content that I put up. Okay, as I said in the introduction, small ukuleles, and by that I mean sub-soprano scale ukuleles. I've reviewed quite a few of them. Some I've really liked, some I've thought have missed the mark quite wildly. Never reviewed one from this brand before, and I'm quite excited about it. The brand is the brainchild of Verona-based luthier Marco Todeschini, Italian guy who builds under the brand of Antica Ukuleleria. And I've reviewed a few of his instruments before. They've always been wildly different, and they've all been very, very good. They've been crackers. The one I looked at a couple of weeks ago, the Sacco, I really, really liked. And this is his first foray into the sub-soprano scale. It's a Sopranino scale called the Allegro. And typical for Marco, it is quite different to look at. I mean, it's clearly very small. This is an 11-inch scale, so a couple of inches smaller scale than a regular soprano. Really nice little sort of swoopy shaped body there. Sorry about the bright light, but then you start to see, well, this is really, really thin. And then, whoa, what's going on here? What's going on here? What it is, Marco, big fan of using sustainable woods, so he's built these this is principally built out of pear wood with this really wonderful swirly grail. He's made them out of cherry and ash as well, and built a little bit like those Tahitian ukuleles. The back and sides and the back of the neck and the headstock, in fact all of the neck and the headstock by the fingerboard, is one block of wood, and he has routed out a cavity in here into which he drops the top, and it makes for a really interesting instrument with a very different construction type. So as I say, this is a really curly, grainy pear wood for the whole of the back, sides and neck, and dropped onto the top of that is a piece of solid spruce. This is spruce that Marco sources from the same Italian forest that Stradivari sourced his spruce from to make violins. Very, very nice straight grain spruce, really clean looking, very thin top as well. So that's a solid top. It's technically solid back and sides, but it's not solid in the same way. It's basically routed out like an ashtray shape, and he drops the top into it. I really, actually really love the way it looks. I mean, it's absolutely brilliant to look at. Very, very different. I put a couple of teaser pictures up. Some people thought it was made of plastic. No, this is all wood. The only synthetic material here is in the saddle, which we'll come on to, in this little vulcanized black edge strip where the top meets that side piece. Very interesting. The bridge, incredibly tidy and simple. Slot style, made of pear wood as well, fitted with what I think is a black Perspex plastic straight top saddle. Really, really thin and nice. Not much to say about it when you look inside, because there's no linings, no back bracing because of the shape. Well, there is actually a bit of a back bracing I'm looking at now. Bit of top bracing as well. It's really delicate, but no linings as such because of the construction type. And then the whole thing is finished off in a non-toxic food-grade version of True Oil called Rubio oil, which gives it some protection, and it means the whole thing is really, really tactile to hold because of these sort of smoothed off edges. It's a beautiful thing to just sit and hold, and it's tiny as well. Okay, the neck extension, so it's not made of multiple pieces, extension of the body, but that tapers down to a really pleasingly flattened profile and about 36 to 37 mil at the nut and about 30 mil string spacing G to A. Remember what I said in the introduction about big hands and small ukuleles? A lot of people who make sopraninos and piccolos often get them quite wrong because they shrink everything down and they make the fingerboard basically unplayable. Marco's got this fingerboard the same size as a comfortable soprano, a very comfortable soprano in fact. So nice and roomy up there, nice and flat on the back, a really comfortable neck. We have 12 frets down to the body, but you also have a 0 fret up here, which helps with intonation accuracy, because the smaller you go with the scale of a ukulele, the harder it is to get the intonation bang on. So that's really helpful. They are dressed impeccably. They're dead skinny as well, no sharp edges. That fingerboard, incidentally, is more pear wood, sitting on top of another vulcanized strip, rather like the Sacco was. You get position dots in white facing out at 5, 7, 10 and a double at the 12th, and you also get dots on the side. This is really comfortable and really smooth and really nicely finished. Okay, beyond that black Perspex, I think, nut. Incidentally, the nut there is only doing the string spacing because it's the 0 fret that's setting the string height. And we've got a small headstock, again, full marks. He didn't keep a massive headstock like Ohana and Carla do on their Sopraninos. It's small, fitted with the inlaid Antica Ukuleleria logo there in wood and vulcanized fibre. I quite like the look of that. And we are fitted with geared De Jong tuners. My first gripe, really, because I don't like sticking out geared tuners on a soprano, really, and this is a sub-soprano. I'd much rather he'd put small gear friction pegs facing back on this. I think it would just look so much better. No ears, and there we are. Okay, it's fitted with fishing line strings that Marco has adjusted the gauges on. I think he's basically made them heavier because this is designed to be tuned at regular GCEA. A lot of Sopraninos are designed to be tuned higher, some of them an octave higher, which I hate, but this is designed to be tuned exactly the same as a regular soprano, so that's interesting. And for that you're looking at a price of €320. That didn't make me fall over when I think about it being made by Marco, because his building is exceptional and it is a luthier build. But I can think of some Sopranino builds, particularly some from the UK, which are quite a bit cheaper than that. Now, maybe my prices are out because I'm going back a few years with people like Dave Morgan and Andy Miles and John Daniel, but it is quite expensive compared to those, but not expensive considering that it is a luthier build. And the build here as a luthier build, it is, I mean, there's absolutely nothing wrong. I cannot find a flaw with it. It's just absolutely wonderful. I love how it looks. It's extremely lightweight. It's only about 310 grams. It is a bit neck heavy because of those tuners, I suspect, but also because of how diminutive this body is. Now, normally I would gripe about that, but I'm not going to gripe about it too much because the whole thing is so light. I mean, you don't notice it dipping because you don't really notice you're holding it at all. Let's have a play of it now. Marco, very self-effacing, very humble guy, sent it over to me, and he said that the tone is not what people are going to expect. And what he compared it to was, he said he thinks it sounds like an old valve radio, and I know exactly what it means. The volume is extremely loud. I'm going to blow the mic. Really loud volume. I don't know how the volume is coming out. The sustain is very, very short, and that's quite common for piccolo sopraninos because you've not got a lot of resonating body down here. But it does sound like you're listening to an old radio broadcast. And then for the first bit of time I was playing it, I didn't like the tone. I will say, though, it started to grow on me. It is thin. It's like it's sort of being played into a tin can. Now, I don't know. I mean, I've marked it down on the tone in the score. It's not marked down in any other department because it's built really, really well. It is comfortable to play. It's not a tone for everyone. You're either going to like it or you're not. I kind of get it because you could just throw that into the smallest of handbags to take on holiday, and then you've got something to play music with. And it does play music well. It intonates well. The volume's great. Great holiday ukulele. And then I also came across a video of the ukulele performer Ukulele Uff. He's an incredible player playing one of these, and I've included it in the video review. Have a look at that. It can really sound really good in the right hands. The more I play it, the more I like it. Different. It sounds like its own thing. It doesn't sound like a regular soprano. Maybe it doesn't even sound like a ukulele. But there's just something really nice about it. So it doesn't get as good a score as the other instruments that I've looked at from Marco, because I think it is a bit Marmite, as we say over here, Marco. I don't know if you have Marmite in Italy. Love it or hate it. The more I play it and the more I'm holding it, the more I'm loving it, because I'd love to go on holiday with one of these and just sort of grab one of these out on the beach. The Antica Ukuleleria Allegro, Sopranino, 11-inch scale, solid top, routed out, sustainable hardwood back and sides, pear in this case, €320. A lot of fun, actually. I think a lot of people will buy these just to have one on their shelf. I would. I think they're fun. Right, okay. Very unusual. Back next week. Hope you enjoyed the rest of your weekend, what's left of it, and don't know what's coming next week. It'll be all right. See you soon. Bye-bye.